think we should move on to the next topic, and that is a more interesting one for me in particular, because I'm not sure if you saw, but I did a video a few days ago where I predicted the running order of semifinal 1, and I felt pretty good about it. I did that offline, of course. So I figured now we got to do the second semifinal. Why don't we do it together? I think that would be a lot of fun. I haven't done that before, so while I'm doing that, bringing up, I created a very cheap and unimpressive impressive Excel sheet here, or the cheap version of it. Let me actually switch this around here in a second. No, I'm still in the way. Now, I'll figure it out. Trust me. There you go. That's better. So we have 16 songs in the running, and as you can see, the first 8 songs are in the first half. I hope I didn't miss anything. And the other 2 are second half is below. Let's try to figure it out. Now, I will do my ranking, but I may need your help in certain cases. So don't yell at me if you don't agree with mine. And I will say, first of all, this is semi 1. I felt good. Oh, yeah, these are good flow. This could work. Yeah, and then semi 2, I'm like, might as well just pick numbers out of a hat. This is so difficult. Like, how do you even do that? I'm like, I don't know. This one. So this one will probably completely different outcome. But let's do this real quick. So obviously, as you can see, these are the 8 songs that will be in the first half. Let me just put that here. So the first song I will put in, and that's the only one I feel comfortable. Like, this is the only one I feel like it's a really good shot of opening. There's only one true opening number in the running, and that is Gustaph from Belgium. So I will not even discuss this one with you. The rest will be a different story. Just like, because it's all because of you. Starts really slow, and then it comes in bong, 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 and the energy keeps going and going. It's the perfect opener. And if the EBU knows what they're doing, then this is the one to choose. I don't see any other act opening at this one. Now, watch them putting Iceland first or something like that. But yeah, that would be my decision. And I will not cave. I will not cave. Now, the rest, you tell me. No. So it would make sense for the second song. And let's keep in mind, there are multiple factors that come into play here, right? Style, genre, who can stand out. Every song needs to shine. But then one thing that we cannot take into account is the staging, because some of them, you can have 3 difficult staging concepts come back to back. So I don't see Belgium going with the crazy staging. So that's why I feel comfortable. But the rest is out of our hands. So for the second number, I'm looking also at the genres that we have left. There are not really a whole lot of bangers in the first half. There are a lot of mid-tempo and ballady songs, so it's going to be quite tricky to do that. So the second one, I will say, I have 3 songs in mind. I could see them going slower with something like Estonia. I could see Iceland being put in that slot because it's not like a super ballad thing, but it's a different vibe. Or Romania. So even though but it's also a bit more upbeat. So I am struggling to come up with the right song between these. So I will ask you. Okay, so I do see that about half of you still think it's Romania. That's all I needed. So we are going to put Romania in second. So Belgium will open. Romania will go second. What do you guys think? I think Iceland and Estonia are both still in contention here. But I could also see something like Greece taking the slot. I don't think Denmark or Cyprus, they're a little bit more, again, I'm not saying they're bobs in the traditional sense, but they're a little bit more energetic and upbeat. And then you guys tell me, is it Iceland? Is it Estonia? Or is it Greece? Initially, I had like a preliminary list, and at first I had Iceland second, Romania third, but I was going to flip them around. So right now, I feel as people are kind of on the same page with me, but we shall see. Vote, y'all. Estonia third after 2 men opening. That is a very important factor as well, because there are more male than female artists in the first half. So I can see that. I personally would have said Iceland probably for that reason alone. Greece wins. 42% of the people voted. So I think I said I probably would have more gone for Iceland maybe, but I can see Greece making sense. But that's really just based on, male versus female here. Do we get a slower song at this point? What do you guys think? So I don't think Armenia is just the right energy at this point. I just think Armenia is more of a second half entry. I feel bad, but I will say I still think that Estonia and Iceland could be next. But who would be the third one I would pick? Okay, there's another one, I think. Iceland? Is it Estonia? Or I'm going to say Cyprus. Iceland, Estonia, or Cyprus. Looking at the running order, I could see either Iceland, Estonia would be probably the most likely ones. Energy-wise, I could see certainly Estonia or Iceland working, plus female. Therefore, it stands out a little. Again, we don't know the entire setup and staging concept, so that could have a major impact. Time is up. There you go. Therefore, the results are in, and Iceland, with 50% of the vote, will be song number 4. All right, we got 4 left. Let's go this real quick. So now we have... It will not be Estonia. Iceland and Estonia will not perform one after another. So just by default, I'll give you Armenia, Cyprus, and Denmark. No, you know what? I don't think it'll be Armenia or Estonia. I can only see Cyprus and Denmark on this one. So I'll only give you 2 options. And go. I personally would probably lean towards Denmark. I think the reason is Denmark is probably, out of those left, the most uplifting, warm song. And we've had, a little bit more of a, draggy sounds kind of like, hard, like harder, like emotional songs, less cheerful. And I think Denmark would certainly bring up the vibe a little bit. A Danish newspaper said Reiley will perform 5th. They don't know that. The Danish newspaper is just guessing. No one knows yet. So don't believe them. Nevertheless, it wasn't clear, but we have 54% of people saying Denmark, and I agree with that. It leaves only 3 songs: Estonia, Cyprus, and Armenia. Now I'll just leave it up to y'all. Now it's getting trickier, right? I mean, Armenia, they're going to put 3 men after each other. They can squeeze women in between, I think. They could, Sabrina, but they've done that before. 3 is, and it's not just gender, right? We have plenty of 3 females, 3 males in a row. So that in itself is not the only deal breaker. But they wouldn't have 4 or 5 going in a row. That's pretty sure. But Estonia wins. I mean, wins. They didn't win anything. Was chosen. So Estonia will be next. So, and then out of those 2 songs, they will not have Armenia and Armenia and Estonia next to each other. So I will say Cyprus next, and Armenia will close the second half. It's not going to be a full vote. That's my decision. So Belgium opens, and Romania, Greece, Iceland, Denmark, Estonia, Cyprus, Armenia. Overall, how do you guys feel with that? Let's move on to the second half. Now we need to take into consideration, let's take a look. So Australia, Austria, Poland, even San Marino, Slovenia, they're a little more upbeat, I guess, to a certain extent. So the slower songs are Albania, Lithuania is and Georgia, yeah. So anyways, so After Armenia is a very heavy song, right? Melodically, lyrically, and all of that stuff. So I personally think it would make perfect sense to have a more of a fun, uplifting song going after that. Even Cyprus and Estonia are not the most heartwarming songs. There's a little bit more depth to them. So I could make a case that Austria could be next, but I do think that Austria is one of the favorites. They will not put the favorite this early on in the second half. They usually put some of the favorites a little later. I actually think that Poland is a really good choice because it's very lighthearted pop. The thing is with San Marino, we don't know the final version yet. Australia may be one, but I think it may be too dramatic. Who will be 9th? I think Poland is a choice. I'll say Australia is a choice. And I guess I could see Slovenia. Not Slovenia. I'm sorry, San Marino. If I had to choose one of these, I still would stick with Poland only because it is the most uplifting song. Because y'all agree with 54% of the vote, Poland is next. And I think that makes perfect sense. I could see now, because we do have a lot of upbeat songs, I can see something a little bit more on the chill, slower side. So I'll give you 3 options based on what I think. It's going to be either Albania, Lithuania, or San Marino. In a perfect world, Australia closes the semi. The ending of Promise is just epic. Well, I personally have 2 potential closers, but I don't want to influence you too much. But we shall see. For now, let's vote for song number 10. Lithuania won in the end. At first, it was like all at 33%, but Lithuania will be next in line, song number 10, according to y'all. Number 11. I need help with that one. Give me some options, y'all. People say San Marino, Australia. I'm leaning towards Australia as well right now. I think San Marino, Slovenia, and Australia probably would need to be split up at some point. Australia, Slovenia, or San Marino. Y'all think San Marino is there. I don't know if I would have picked them. So now I will not have Australia or Slovenia next. So it'll be between Albania, Austria, and Georgia. Albania and Georgia. What do you think? And here are the results. Albania is the clear number 12, and I can see that happening. That means we have songs left in after. I think we need something more banger-wise, I think. So the only options we have, and I'm going to put the poll up, is it Australia? Is it Austria? Or is it Slovenia? I'll tell me. I don't think it's Slovenia. I think Australia would be my personal choice here right now, but I can see a case being made for Austria. Matt, could you see EBU, BBC swapping a band from second half to first half? Nope, they will not do that. They can't say, well, we need to have too many bands, we're going to move it over, and now they'll just deal with it, because that would be an outrage. That would be, then, yeah, they need to be fair. They need to be fair like that. All right, here we go. The results are in, and y'all want Australia, on y'all, but 46% of you want Australia next. We have Austria, Georgia, and Slovenia left. I feel like I have my order, and I've been asking y'all a lot, so I will leave it as it is. I'm going to use my opinion. I think Austria will not close it. It's a little bit too much, but it would be a great moment to have 14. Georgia will be 15, and I thought from the beginning that Slovenia would be the best closer to begin with. So that's how I make that final decision. You helped me with the rest, but on this one, I feel good about it. Let me know. Can we please move Lithuania to 13? Need something slower and separate Australia and Austria. That is a good point. The Australia-Austria part. That's the only thing I don't necessarily agree with. The only thing I can think of is Austria and Georgia being swapped, but then we have Austria and Slovenia. So maybe we could move Lithuania between Austria. Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, you know what? I think I would actually switch. Instead of switching Lithuania, I will, even though we vote on it, but I'm overruling y'all, I'll switch Australia. How does that work? Maybe a little better. But then again, I don't know if San Marino and Australia would go back to back. So maybe I should switch Lithuania and San Marino. What do y'all think? Should I switch San Marino and Lithuania? Should we switch San Marino and Lithuania before I lock it in? I will not put Austria last. I don't think it's a closer. Slovenia is it's more of a closer to me. Austria is just that big moment closer to the end. All right, I'm switching. I see some yeses. We're going to make San Marino number 10 and Lithuania. I forgot, which country did I just delete? Lithuania number 11. That's my running order. Now I'm locking it in. I don't want to hear any more changes. So I'm going to post that, of course, and then we'll see how close and right we were with all of that at the end.